Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 4 on my journey to Ironman Lake Placid. I have exactly 200 days left until I toe the line. I am on day 4 of a juice fast, and I want to talk a little bit about fasting and working out. But before I do, let's go over what I did today. I didn't drink too much juice. I did have some carrot apple juice. I probably had 2 glasses of that, and then I had 1 glass of the apple, kale, cucumber, celery with ginger juice that I had left over from yesterday. I did drink a bunch of tea today and a ton of water. So my workouts, I was kind of afraid of these workouts because it's the first time I've been on the bike for 90 minutes in a while. It was a very low wattage workout. It wasn't a real big push, but it was a little difficult for me to get through because I'm still in the surgical splint from recovering from a torn muscle, and they had to relocate a nerve just about 2 weeks and a day or two ago. So I had to actually have my splint on the bike. It was pretty funky, but I got through that. There you can see me riding right there. And then, so I ended up doing 90 minutes, an hour and a half on the bike. There's my Strava data. And then right off of the bike, I was kind of dreading this. I got on the treadmill for kind of a slow pace of 4 miles an hour, a 15-minute mile, but I have been keeping the treadmill at a 5% incline for a good carb. So that was kind of a big workout on day 4 of a fast, especially since I'm not really in the shape, obviously, that I used to be when I trained for Ironman. I've been kind of on the sidelines for a while, so I was a little bit afraid of it. But this is what I know. I spent hours and hours and hours for a couple years trying to find out about people that had fasted workouts, like a longer term fast. And so I asked a couple of my doctor friends. Basically, most of the time when you fast, you want your body to be rested and quiet. Now, again, I don't suggest my very unconventional way of training, and right now for 30 days, unconventional way of not eating. But I do have my reasons, which I'll talk about in another video. Here's the thing that I do know. Your body has a bunch of stores in it, and mine does too. You have to remember that endurance training with a lower heart rate, I keep a really close eye on my heart rate. Actually, my heart rate was a lot lower than it was yesterday. My heart rate was really climbing yesterday. But my heart rate was in like the 125, 130 range, which is really right where I want to be. And I wasn't really worried about food, energy kind of thing because I'm not eating. And I'm not really worried about glycogens. But the truth is, all the glycogen is probably burned up in my body anyways, which, and honestly, when you do endurance sports, your glycogen is gone in about 2.5 hours anyways. So when you're running a marathon, you actually strip your body of all the energy from sugars. Anyhow, the hope is that you either induce more glycogen by gels or liquid calories, or what I prefer is adapting to fat, a fat adapted energy. So the way I'm seeing it, if I feel okay and my heart rate's not climbing, my body's going to figure out how to power itself. The one thing that does concern me are electrolytes, because I'm virtually taking in no salt. The only sodium I'm getting is from like celery, cucumber, and kale. So I am supplementing with a very clean electrolyte source. You have to be careful because a lot of the electrolytes and fuels out there will be doused with calories, and that's not what I'm going for here. So I use a product called LMNT. I think you can see that. And basically this is a lot of sodium. I mix it in probably over a quart of water, so it's not as salty. And I did start cramping, and as soon as I had some of this, my cramps went away. I usually train with something called base salts. I really think it's just like Himalayan pink salt ground up. So typically when I'm training, especially zone 2, I don't really supplement normally with electrolytes unless I'm on like a 4-hour trainer ride. Today, though, I did in fact supplement because I know I'm not having any other source of sodium. So that said, I'm sure there's going to be people that will disagree with me. I'm going to keep training while I'm fasting until it doesn't feel good to me. If I start getting dizzy or loopy, or, I feel like I need to slow down, I'll either slow down or I will just stop because it's not worth my health. But as long as I feel good, and I do, I'm still kind of getting over this cold thing, but I feel great. So I'm going to keep doing that. Today was packed. I had my full-time job. I had to go check in on the restaurant that we own. And then I had a bunch of paperwork I had to do here. So I'm trying to multitask. And I promised I would talk more about routines today, but this is where routines really matter. And I'll tell you why. I had to keep my priorities straight so I know that I get my workouts done. In other words, as soon as I got home, as soon as I walked in the door, I changed and got in my workout clothes. I did this because I know that if I start sitting down at the computer to do paperwork, I'm never going to get to my workouts. It's going to be 10 o'clock at night, and I'm not going to want to sit for an hour and a half on the bike. That's why routine is so important. As soon as I walked in the door, I went and got my workout clothes done. And I had 2 hours. It probably took 2.5 hours between getting everything cleaned up and set up. And that was a big chunk of time for me. It's going on 9 o'clock and I still have a ton of work to do. But I'm glad I did it. I don't regret it. And had I done it the other way, I would have skipped the workout. So my advice is set up routines and then have a no-nonsense approach about those routines. Get the stuff done that you least want to do, get it done first, and everything else will fall into place. We will see you next time. Have a great day.